cloud server. Recording in progress. Yes. So how many people are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll wait for 2 minutes. Can you see this?
यस सर अगेन मेरी प्रेजेंटेशन पहले है
आपने जल्दी सबमिट किया होगा.
सुबह 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 उठते पता चला था कि कल रात में कोई ऐसा असाइनमेंट आया और मुझे ये थियोरिटिशियन के बारे में कुछ नहीं मालूम था. सुबह सुबह पढ़ा फिर इसके बाद निकाला. मोन्टाजेस का जो असाइनमेंट था मोन्टाजेस के बारे में फिर भी मुझे मालूम था काफी कुछ. ओके सर शुरू करती हूँ.
We'll start. Yes, start Tanvi.
Okay, write a short note on the film theoretician Andre Besson. Andre Besson was a prominent film theorist whose researches and insights has a great influence in the field of cinema. Besson was an influential film critic in the mid-20th century because of whom film studies became a flourishing discipline in academics. He was deeply passionate about cinema and his write-ups was about elevating art to a serious critical analysis. His work gained recognition in the post-World War II era when the cinematic treatment was going through a transformative changes in style and technology. One of the Bason's central contribution to the film theory as he favored realism in cinema. He believed that cinema is a powerful medium and it has an essence that captured the reality in a unique way and other art forms. His famous essay, The Ontology of Photographic Image, 1945, articulates the viewpoint wherein he contends that photography and cinema have a unique capacity to preserve a moment of reality and thereby bestowing upon the certain ontological authenticity. He also presented a point that a deep focus shots and long shots keep the audience very engaged. His posthumously released 2-volume publication named What is Cinema? Bazin expanded his theory and examined the art of filmmaking, and this gave him immense recognition as a theorist. His theories were also very pragmatic because whose magazine's name Charis du Cinema in 1951 gave a platform for many filmmakers like Francois Truffaut and Jean-Luc Godard. Who would later become key figures in the French New Wave movement, who broke many norms of filmmaking. It is crucial to note that Bazin's theories were not without controversy. His emphasis on realism and his rejection of the montage and the sole means of cinematic expression faced criticism from the proponents of other film theories, notably those centered on formalism and the auteur theory. His life was small as of 40 years, but his research and theories have created a immortal legacy in the subject of film theories, by which people still learn the academic discipline. Yeah.
As an introduction to Andre Bazin, I think you have done a fairly decent job. But at that one level, it's what, 100, 500 words roughly around? How many words it is? Roughly?
370.
370 words. मोटी बातें जो है, you have picked up with Andre Bazin, what Andre Bazin is all about. You talked about his ontology of photographic image. You talked about he favored realism in cinema, which is what he is known for. Now, what sort of realism that he is favoring? That was a bit missing. That you say that he contends photography and cinema have a unique capacity to preserve a moment of reality. That it is a recording device is clear. तो authenticity कैसे आता है? realism का authenticity कैसा आता है? That thing is a bit.
Hmm.
You have, you have pointed out to deep focus shots and long takes, long shots. It's not long shots, long takes. You know, long shot is a magnification.
Hmm.
Basically, he was known to take long
Hmm.
takes. Long takes is means the camera would go on for 3 minutes or 4 minutes or stuff like that. So, what is exactly is this realism that he is favoring? वो थोड़ा सा next level of study के लिए है ना? It's good that you have figured out that he was favoring realism, but
Hmm.
what exactly is that sort of realism? वो थोड़ा study करना है
Hmm.
आपको, है ना? And also, you have talked about French New Wave movement and how it gave a platform. Kayet do cinema, no? That's what
Hmm.
that's what the book is called. The magazine is called. Uh, Everything controversy. You speak about controversy. Uh, Controversy is a probably an inappropriate word. Argument, that kind of a, at this level, it's going to be argument. My theory versus your theory, kind of a thing. There's one major mistake that you've done is that you say that the controversy was notably centered created by those centered on formalism and author theory. Author theory is a theory that Andrew Bazin helped formalize.
Hmm.
So there can't be an argument against Andrew Bazin by the author theory guys.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, the kind of realism that he talks about,
Hmm.
that could be in question. That could be in question even then and even now. But it's a good beginning, you know.
Hmm.
And I think you a little bit you go a little bit of depth into what Andre Bazin is about, because you're going to hear a lot
Hmm.
about him. All of you are going to hear a lot about him because he was the, as you rightly pointed out, he was the major influential
Hmm.
after Eisenstein theorist who formulated the theory of filmmaking at that point of time. Yeah, थोड़ा सा बहुत और स्टडी कर दीजिएगा ना,
Hmm.
ठीक है?
मैं पहली बार किसी थियोरिस्ट के बारे में लिखा है ना, तो इतना पता तो रहता नहीं था.
So
Yeah,
what? So who will be the other film theorists? That would be important.
there are a lot of Eisenstein, who's the second question that was given to you. These are Andre Bazin's theory and Eisenstein's theory of montage are the two formative theories that shaped up the history of film language. That happened during the 1920s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. 50s is when early 50s is when Andre Bazin died, and yeah, montage is the theory of montage. Basically, to put it simplistically, the theory of montage and the theory of Andre Bazin, the theory of long take, it is called. Of course, there are others who came up and things like that later on, but then but these are the formative ones, and even now we talk about this.
Hmm.
Yeah, there has been a What is Cinema is Andre Bazin's most read book. Uh, there are actually now there are two versions of this book. Uh, I mean the French translation. There are two translations. What we know of one translation, which was published by a university in America, which had the rights to that, and apparently they had some translation issues involved. And then people are now looking at Andre Bazin in a different new light since the other translation has come up. It is generally believed that Andre Bazin didn't like montage, um, but that the other translator says that that's wrong. But anyway, that's at a later stage. But by and large, Andre Bazin is known for long takes. And why long takes? Someone else, I think, has written that. Why is it? Okay. So we'll go for the next one, film montage.
Yeah. So, sir, I have written on the various kind of film montage. Okay. Film montage is a technique by which juxtaposition shots by which the juxtaposition shots to create a meaning, to evoke emotion, create a meaning, and develop the narrative. Here are some types of montages. First is metric montage. Metric montage focuses on the precise measurement of the shots involving rhythmic and mathematical arrangement of the images and synchronized with the film soundtrack. Indian films have this Indian films have this montage in action scenes, dance and music performances. मैंने इंडियन फिल्म के रेफरेंसेस में देखा है, मतलब montages का वो किया है, और एंड में मैंने एक एग्जांपल भी दिया है. हाँ, rhythmic montages. Rhythmic montages is the synchronization of the soundtrack with the film scenes. Indian filmmakers use it to create an emotionally impactful scene by the use of background score in the scenes and visually engaging song and dance sequences. Tonal montage. So tonal montage are used in the highly emotionally charged scenes, whether it is tragic events, romantic scenes, or suspenseful moments, in which juxtaposition shots are used so that the audience can be made emotionally connected with the scene, creating an atmosphere and emotional impact. Overtonal montage. This form of montage consists of all forms of montage like tonal, rhythmic, and metric. This is used by the filmmakers to explain the complex plot points and pivotal moments of the film, mostly used in epic period dramas. And one is intellectual montage. This technique is not used in mainstream movies but mostly in the art house films to convey deeply intellectual ideas and unconventional methods of storytelling. Okay, now there is a montage in parallel editing. मतलब parallel editing का भी editing जो होती है वो भी एक तरह का montage होती है. So this montage is used to depict different places having a simultaneous event. The best example of this is the 1997 Mani Ratna movie Iruvar, in which the character of Mohanlal and Aishwarya Rai are shown having a religious wedding, and at the same time frame, Prakash Raj and Revati are shown having a non-religious wedding, as Prakash Raj's character was an atheist. So juxtaposition shots of both the weddings created an impactful wedding scene and also showed a contrast between the two male characters.
Yeah, so I was talking about Eisenstein, Sergei Eisenstein. He made some silent films, and he was the foremost theorist of the Russian school of filmmaking. And he was the Russians, in fact, developed the word montage. Montage is a French name, which means to put things together and putting up. You know? So in the Western world, montage would mean plain, simple editing. You know? So in the Russian sense and the French sense, montage would mean more than the act of editing, more than the act of putting two shots together. It's like what she rightly pointed out, it's the juxtaposition of shots to create a new meaning. You know, juxtaposition of shots to create a new meaning. Just to give you an example, have you heard of a filmmaker called Kuleshov?
शायद सर नाम सुना है.
हाँ, सर Kuleshov वो Sergei Eisenstein का contemporary था रशिया में. So he created an experiment in which he took a photograph of a film of a shot of a very blank face actor, popular Russian actor, and he joined it, spliced it with a photo of food. The smoke is coming out of the food. When he joined those two things together, people started saying, "Arey, this guy is damn hungry." No? So then he took the same shot of the blank expression of that actor and joined it together with a glamorous girl, and he showed it to the audience. And then the audience said, "Arey, yaar, ये तो एकदम humanizer type का आदमी है," that kind of a thing. No? So the image, the meaning that is created is due to the juxtaposition, as you rightly pointed out, and the creation of a new meaning itself. The act of creating a new meaning, the building up of a new meaning is called montage, basically, by and large, simplistically speaking. As against editing. Editing is just putting two shots together. है ना? ये आदमी यहाँ से वहां गया और वहां तक पहुंचा, ज्वाइन किया, पता चला कि यहाँ से निकल के वहां से पहुंच गया, है ना? That kind of a thing. That is simply editing, doing away with the NGs. No, NG is no good portions, what is not there, and then putting together. But montage is something that you create, as Kuleshov pointed out. So Sergei Eisenstein took this theory and wrote a whole book called film art, I think. And he talks about 5 types of montages, which is what she has written right now. Metric montage, metric montage is like one shot is for 5 seconds, the next shot is for 5 seconds, the third shot is also for 5 seconds, and it creates a metric conveyor. Or the first shot is 5 seconds, the second shot is 4 seconds, the third shot is 3 seconds, and this kind of metric montage kind of a thing. We have all seen these kinds of Balaji telefilms. Have you seen Balaji telefilm serials? Like a some shock images, shock news comes in, and we see everyone's faces, everyone dumb faces for 3 seconds each, 4 seconds each, and that is metric montage. Rhythmic montage, I think you have got it wrong, Tanvi. Synchronization of the soundtrack with the film scene, which is not the whole case. Rhythmic montage is when you cut a shot according to the rhythm of the action. According to the rhythm of the action. The rhythm of the action may be slow, may be fast, or whatever. You cut it according to when the hand comes down from here to here, you might want to cut it after the action is over. So that is, or when the man runs and sits down, you might want to cut it after the man sits down. It is depending on the rhythm of the action. Then of course there's a tonal montage, which you rightly pointed out is a highly charged emotional, and through the editing you create an emotional sequence. And the overtonal has all the other montages, all the other 3 montages put together, which is absolutely right. And complex points and emotional moments and stuff like that. And can you give me an example of intellectual montage?
सर ये तो मुझे भी समझ में नहीं आया सर, मतलब ये है कि सर जो मेटाफर्स वगैरह होते हैं उनको दिखाने के लिए किया जाता है, मतलब
एग्जैक्टली ये अभी पहले
सर ओवरटोनल का मैं एक एग्जांपल देना चाहती हूँ, मैंने लिखा नहीं लेकिन देना चाहती हूँ.
हाँ जी.
ओके सर. सर मैंने एक फिल्म देखी थी, मतलब मलयालम मूवी ने मिथुनम. मिथुनम में देयर इज अ सीन बिटवीन एक्टर मोहनलाल एंड एक्ट्रेस उर्वशी, एंड वो एक सीन होता है अबाउट एन आर्ग्यूमेंट सीन. वो सीन बहुत इम्पैक्टफुल था, मुझे काफी अच्छा लगा था. उसमें क्या होता है दैट द एक्ट्रेस उर्वशी सेज टू मोहनलाल दैट आप शादी से पहले तो यार मुझसे इतने सारे लव लेटर्स लिख के इतने सारे प्रॉमिसेस किए थे और ये सारे आप मुझे इतना प्यार करते थे, अब आपका ऐसा चेंज वो हो गया. तो वो झगड़े करने वाला एक सीन होता है जिसमें शी गिव्स द लेटर्स टू हिम और बाद में वो लेटर्स फाड़ देता है, मतलब एक तरह से उसकी जो वो फैंटेसाइज करती थी उसको डिस्ट्रॉय करता हुआ. तो फिर उसमें मोन्टाज का बड़ा अच्छा यूज किया गया कि एक तरफ मतलब वो लेटर्स के जो फटे हुए पेजेस होते हैं, मतलब उसको इस तरह से हवा में डाल देते, तो एक तरफ से शॉट होता है कि एक तरफ से शॉट में टुकड़े बिखरते हुए दिखाई देते हैं और दूसरी साइड जो उर्वशी होती है उनका मतलब एक सीन होता है कि मतलब वो उदास सा चेहरा बना के मतलब टीयर्स रोलिंग डाउन करके ऐसा. तो इसमें मोन्टाज का बड़ा अच्छा यूज किया गया है, ओवरटोनल ही होता है एक तरह से ये, और इसमें बीजीएम भी बड़ा अच्छा था. तो मतलब एक तरह से ये था ओवरटोनल मोन्टाज का कि इमोशनल इम्पैक्ट किया गया है जक्स्टापोजिशन शॉट से, बीजीएम से, ऐसे. तो ये एग्जांपल मैं दे सकती हूँ, वो दिया नहीं, पर वो सीन में काफी अच्छा था. मोन्टाज का भी सोचते हैं तो उस सीन का जरूर सोचते हैं.
If tonal montage and the overtonal montage basically deals with the emotion of the scene, the intellectual montage deals with the mind. It tries to give a concrete intellectual thought. For example, there is a very famous sequence that you should all see later on after you finish this class. It's a hardly for 5 minutes scene of Odessa step sequences, the massacre of Odessa step sequence, a film made by Sergei Eisenstein. And let's say YouTube भी है उसका and things like that. उसमें क्या हो जाता है, Odessa का steps होता है, and then ऊपर एक आर्मी होता है, रशियन जार्स लोगों का आर्मी होता है, नीचे लोग होते हैं एंड ऊपर से वो शूट करते रहते हैं एंड मैसेकर हो जाता है. And then at some point of time, one person stops running. Everyone starts running down, escaping from the police, the military police, or the Russian Tsar police. At one point of time, one lady or one person turns back, and faces the military, and she starts walking upwards. Then seeing her, many people start walking along with her. So by the end of it, a lot of people are walking up and facing, and they'll be getting killed and stuff like that. In between the turn of the first lady, there were three shots.
Hmm.
Three shots of three statues of lions.
Hmm.
In one shot, the first shot, the lion is sitting ऐसे बैठा है ना. और सेकंड शॉट में लायन थोड़ा सा उठ गया थोड़ा सा, है ना. और थर्ड शॉट में ऑल स्टैटिक शॉट्स, थर्ड शॉट में द लायन इज रोरिंग फ्रॉम द पोजीशन ऑफ सिट. बेचारा सिट बैठा है एंड देन स्टैंडिंग अप एंड द लायन रोर्स एंड देन आफ्टर दैट पीपल स्टार्ट walking down the step. What is being taught here, what is being attempted here, what is being attempted here is to give an intellectual idea that people have begun rebellion, that kind of thing. So this is by and large basically an intellectual montage. These are the 5 levels of montage, 5 types of montage that Eisenstein has by and large spoken. Montage in parallel editing here, that's right, but that's not exactly what Eisenstein talked about. I think the implication of this question was to have those 5 types of montage. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Dog wala जाते हैं ना. We'll go for the next one.
सर ने शायद वो आखिरी के 2 मोन्टाज ने आखिरी मोन्टाज ने वो क्या वो पहले एडिटिंग वाले मैंने बताया था, मतलब इसमें इसके बारे में क्या कहना है आपको?
अरे वो this is not exactly falls in purview with the 5 Eisenstein's montage. This is parallel montage is something that happened and that happened much before Eisenstein. In fact, ये जो है आप जो parallel montage जो editing जो बोल रहे हैं वो अमेरिकन फिल्म्स में ग्रिफिथ का फिल्म्स 1920s का 1910 ग्रिफिथ का फिल्म से पैरेलल कटिंग होता था. And then this type of montage is quite different from the kind of montage, the 5 types of montage that Eisenstein formulated, which is creating things rather than just telling the narration. यहाँ पे पैरेलल एडिटिंग में क्या हो जाती है, एक नरेशन बोल रहे हैं, कहानी बोल रही है ना. ये सब इसमें मोन्टाज में क्या होता है, ये सब मोन्टाज में ऊपर का पाई मोन्टाज में आप क्रिएट कर रहा है, एक वर्ल्ड क्रिएट कर रहा है, एक इमोशन क्रिएट कर रहा है, एक इंटेलेक्ट थॉट क्रिएट कर रहा है, एंड दिस काइंड ऑफ. तो ये मोटी तौर से ये फर्क है बेसिकली. So we'll go for the next one.
Okay, एक सेकंड. Yes, sir. ठीक है. A documentary named Canal Chronicle is a captivating documentary because it shows the world of dogs in a brilliant way, like their role and importance in the society and evolution. It's an emotionally touching documentary which touches the relation of human and the dogs, like dogs as their friend, protector and companion. Sir, अगर dogs के ऊपर documentary बनानी हो तो फिर इसका cinematic treatment ऐसा होता है that narrative को ऐसे सेट किया जाता है. A documentary related to dogs can be started by introducing to the world of dogs by showing shots of their various breeds and activities, and also introducing people to the uniqueness of each breed as well as animals' lifestyle and their psychology. Then move to other aspects like human and the dog bonding, as well as the dog working in the security fields like army, rescue, police, as well as therapy dogs, as well as the dog's roles in the fields of art, literature, and culture. It should also explore the challenges like of the dogs, like overbreeding, problems of the stray dogs, and danger from them, as well as abandonment. It should also explore the future of human and dog bond, as well as conclude it on a positive note on the relationships. Now, if we're talking about the visual style, so the cinematography of the dogs should have close-up shots emphasizing their behaviors, and wide shots to convey their relation with the environment and people. And tracking shots should be used to engage the audience in it. Tone. The tone should be balancing between the emotionally engaging as well as informative, so the pace should be between fast and the slow. Music. The music should be emotionally engaging and uplifting, contemplative in composition. The soundtrack and the background music should be impactful, which can engage the audience with it.
ये आपने थोड़ा बहुत डिटेल में विजुअल स्टाइल्स बताया, क्लोजअप्स बताया, लॉन्ग शॉट बताया, उसका रीजंस बताया, ये सब बताया है. पर आपका नरेशन में what is missing is what is it that you're going to say about this dog? है ना, आप क्या बोलना चाहते हैं वो क्लियर नहीं है ना।
हाँ
ये मकसद क्या है आपका, है ना। मकसद मतलब आई एम नॉट क्वेश्चनिंग यू बट आई एम आस्किंग यू टू लुक एट योरसेल्फ एंड क्वेश्चन योरसेल्फ, है ना, व्हाई एम आई डूइंग दिस डॉग फिल्म, है ना। तो तो थीमेटिक कंसर्न क्या है, अगर वो आपका क्लियर नहीं है, आप जितना भी डिटेल वर्कआउट कर दो तो इट वुड नॉट मेक एन इम्पैक्ट, है ना। जैसे मैंने पहले क्लास में बोला, एडिफाइज फाउंडेशन स्टोन्स अगर बराबर नहीं है तो द होल स्ट्रक्चर वुड कोलैप्स, है ना। तो हालांकि आपने काफी सारे विजुअल्स वगैरह वर्कआउट किया है थोड़ा बहुत, है ना, इस 500 वर्ड्स में जितनी सारी पॉसिबल है, म्यूजिक व्यूजिक बताया आपने, बट इट वुडंट मीन मच इफ यू डोंट हैव समथिंग टू से अबाउट द डॉग इन टर्म्स ऑफ अ कंप्लीट एटीट्यूड, है, वो क्लियर नहीं है, ठीक है। You figure out that what is it that you want to say about the dogs. Are they bad? Are
अच्छा,
they
मतलब
good?
डॉक्यूमेंट्री बनाने से जब भी बात की जाती है तो एटलीस्ट उसका वो दिखाना होता है, मतलब ऐसा।
बस वही है, आप इस डॉग के बारे में क्यों बोल रहे हैं आप, है ना।
हम्म।
एक कोई डॉग बोलता है डॉग न्यूसेंस है करके एक पूरा फिल्म बना सकता हूँ मैं, है ना।
हाँ।
या तो सिर्फ
हम्म।
स्ट्रे डॉग के ऊपर फिल्म बना सकता हूँ मैं भी अच्छी,
या
एक तो वो डॉग लवर्स वाले एंगल से बना सकता हूँ, है ना।
या डॉग्स की ओवर ब्रीडिंग पे बना सकते हैं, वो भी एक
जो भी है।
समस्या है।
हाँ, तो आपका टेक क्या है, मैं पहले भी बताया आपको सम ऑफ द डॉक्यूमेंट्री प्रपोजल में, आपको नहीं मतलब जनरल क्लास को, आप व्हाट इज इट, आई एम इंटरेस्टेड इन नोइंग व्हाट इज योर टेक ऑन दैट फिल्म, है ना। तो वो मिसिंग पार्ट है सर। ये पहले, अगर वो पहले वर्कआउट करता है, ये सब विजुअल स्टाइल वगैरह अपने आप आ जाता है, ठीक
यस
है।
सर।
विल
हम्म।
गो फॉर गीत, आर यू देयर?
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
यस सर।
Am I
अच्छा
visible,
सर,
sir?
सर एक बात कहनी थी। अभी 3 तारीख से मेरे एग्जाम शुरू होने वाले हैं, तो फिर मतलब मैं कैसे, वो यूनिवर्सिटी वाले एग्जाम शुरू हो रहे हैं, तो देखते हैं कैसे काम करना है। बिकॉज क्या है ना, किसी दिन अगर एग्जाम हो गया और उसके, अगर एग्जाम और क्लास एक ही दिन हो गए तो फिर मैं असाइनमेंट नहीं कर पाऊंगी एक दिन पहले का।
वो रिकॉर्डिंग तो अभी ये इसको रिकॉर्ड कर रहा हूँ मैं, समझ गया कैसे रिकॉर्ड करना है वगैरह वगैरह, रिकॉर्डिंग तो होगा ना।
हाँ, या फिर ये करते हैं कि अगर मतलब मैं एक वो क्लास शुरू होने से एक दिन पहले जो असाइनमेंट है, मैं क्लास शुरू होने से पहले असाइनमेंट ना दूं, लेकिन 2 दिन अगर एक क्लास चलती है तो मैं ऐसा करूँ कि दूसरे दिन अपनी प्रेजेंटेशन दूं, तो सबमिट कर दूंगी तो दूसरे दिन की प्रेजेंटेशन हो जाएगी मेरी।
जैसे जैसे मतलब सुविधा हो, और वो कोऑर्डिनेशन स्वाति मैम के साथ करके आप कर सकते हैं,
हाँ
है ना।
ठीक है।
यस
हम्म।
गीत।
वैसे तो वी आर आल्सो गोइंग ऑन आफ्टर दैट। ओके फाइन, थैंक यू सर।
यस गीत।
Okay, sir. Andre Bazin was an important guy when it comes to talking about films. He was born in France in 1918 and did a lot of thinking and writing about films. His ideas have had a big impact on how we understand and talk about films. One of Bazin's main things was all about realism in films. He believed that pictures taken by a camera were special because they captured a real moment. He called this objective realism. He thought that when you watch a movie, you should feel like you are a part of the real world and not just seeing a bunch of edited scenes. But Bazin didn't like the way some filmmakers put scenes together quickly, a style called montage. He preferred it when movies had long scenes with a lot of happening in one shot. He said that this helped you feel more connected to the story and the characters. In 1945, Bazin wrote a famous essay called Ontology of the Photographic Image. It sounds fancy, but he was basically talking about how photos have a special way of showing reality. He thought that the way a photo captures a moment is different from drawings or paintings. He didn't just write about movies, he also started a film journal called Cahiers du Cinema in 1951 with some friends. This journal became a big deal and influenced a bunch of new filmmakers, including the French New Wave. These filmmakers, inspired by Bazin, believed in making movies that showed their personal style and ideas rather than following a set formula. Unfortunately, Bazin passed away when he was only 40 by 1958, but even though he didn't get to do more, his ideas stuck around. People still talk about his thoughts on realism, the way pictures capture reality, and how movies should make you feel like you're part of the story. So, Andre Bazin made a lasting impact on how we see and understand movies.
Yeah, Geet, I think as a beginning as a startup, this is a fairly decent it gives a fair idea of what anti-Bayesian is about. But I would also, like I told Tanvi, I would also like, what is this about realism that Bayesian says is authentic, है ना? ये थोड़ी बात आपने लिखी है. Uh, so is there any line that is that says that how is it that he's finding realism authentic? No, no. It helps you feel more connected to the story. How does the audience feel more connected with the story in long scenes, in long, the word is long takes. It's called short sequences. Short matlab SHOT, sequence shots. One sequence is one shot basically. So that sequence may be 8 minutes, that sequence may be 3 minutes, that sequence may be 1 minute. And then once the cut happens, then you go on to the next sequence. Normally क्या हो जाता है, इसका face, उसका face, इसका long shot, इसका close up वगैरह वगैरह करके एक sequence हो जाता है. What Bayesian tried to say is that an entire sequence can be shot as a shot. If you talk about Touch of Evil by Orson Welles, which Bayesian talks a great deal. The first shot is 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes or something like that, in which the camera goes through various lanes, and then by the end of the shot, there is a bomb blast. In the first beginning frame of the shot, a bomb is planted, and in the entire 4 minutes, we're trying to figure out, yaar, kabhi bomb futega, when is the bomb going to, and then that kind of involvement in the audience requires. Thoda bahut, I think, thoda Bayesian, all of you, I'm sure I'm expecting, I'm giving a burden to you that the expectation is that you will be knowing about Bayesian. If you don't know, I think you a little bit more study about Bayesian, but this guy is going to recover, as I told you, come back and back again and again. He's going to haunt you for the rest of your life. I will. अब क्या उसमें क्या reality है? Long take में क्या reality है? What is the reality in the long take? 4 minute का take में, है ना? So Bayesian says the audience can choose where to see. How does the audience get involved in the scene? Now audience can choose between the long take and the foreground and the background, because both of them are in focus. So it gives a greater amount of freedom to the audience, and therefore a greater amount of involvement to the audience. That was one of the basis of what Bayesian thought it was necessary to keep the mental continuity of time in a particular shot. काफी सारे चीजें हैं Bayesian के बारे में बात करने के लिए, but I think this is a very good beginning. All of you have done a great job by studying about this guy and knowing about this guy. And my request is to go a bit beyond and actually figure out he's written a great deal on Orson Welles and William Wyler, and he's talked about Anthony and me, I think, and it would do us good to read some of his analysis of those films in terms of his theory, clear? But otherwise, the Andre Bazin comes across very well. We'll go for the next one.
Film montage is a powerful and versatile cinematic technique that involves the assembly of shots to create a seamless sequence. Different kinds of montage are employed by filmmakers to convey specific meanings, emotions, or narrative structures. Each type of montage serves a unique purpose and contributes to the overall storytelling in distinctive ways. Metric montage. Think of this like a dance where each move is carefully timed to the music. In movies, metric montage is about matching the length of shots to create a specific rhythm, like beats in a song. This helps build excitement or tension and makes scenes more dynamic. Rhythmic montage. Similar to metric montage, rhythmic montage is about creating a flow in a sequence of shots. It's like making sure the movements in a scene match a certain beat, making it feel smooth and coordinated. This technique helps set the pace and mood of a scene. Tonal montage. It is all about the feelings in a scene. Filmmakers use this technique to make you feel a certain way by putting together shots that create a particular emotion. It's like painting with emotions, using images to express the overall mood of a scene. Overtonal montage. It is like combining different elements, rhythm, tone, and more to create a complex and layered effect. It is used to tell deep stories or explore complicated themes. This kind of montage makes a movie rich and interesting by using various cinematic tools. Intellectual montage. Imagine solving a puzzle. Intellectual montage is a bit like that in movies. Filmmakers use seemingly unrelated shots to make you think and figure out a deeper meaning. It's about making connections and understanding things on a more thoughtful level. Spatial montage. Spatial montage is like creating a map of a scene. It helps you understand where things are happening and how they relate to each other. This is important especially in action scenes where the movement of characters and objects in a space is crucial to the story. In simple terms, these types of film montage are like tools in a filmmaker's toolbox. They help directors tell stories in different ways, whether by creating a catchy rhythm, conveying strong emotions, or making you think deeply about what's happening.
Yeah, I think deep, some of these definitions that you've given are fairly clear. Metric montage, we talk about metric montage. You talk about rhythmic montage, and you relate it to the movement of the scene, and then and you relate it to the beat of the scene, which is a fair definition of it. Tonal montage, you speak about the emotion. Overtonal is it's a mixture of all that, and even intellectual montage. So, so this basically three or four, five montages that you know. But your the first line says, when there is a little bit of confusion, I think, in all of our minds. There's some slight distinct difference between editing as Hollywood sees it, and montage as the Russian sees it. Now, of course, 100 years later, everything is crisscross and everything is intermingled and stuff like that. But it's essential to make this difference that film montage is a powerful and versatile cinematic technique that involves the assembly of shots to create a seamless sequence. This, by the way, is the definition of the editing. Now, what does editing do? Editing puts assembled shots. We assemble shots, of course, there's an assembly of shot in montage also, but by and large, why is this assembly of shot in editing as Hollywood sees it? It's called analytical editing or analytical decoupage. Let me not get into that word right now, but the assembling of shots to create a seamless sequence. Imagine a sequence where I'm taking a class and you guys are there on the monitor, and my 10-year kids makes a noise, opens the door and goes out. And I look at him, I scold him and come back. Imagine this sequence. Now, if you are editing this shot by shot, shot by shot, shot by shot, and then assembling it, I'm taking a class, all you guys are listening. My son doing a lot of musty, and he bangs the door and goes away. Then cut to I turning and shouting at him, and then I am relaxing and coming back to the class. This is the sequence. And to make it seamless, I would go by the action, smoothness of action and stuff like that. So I would assemble these sequences into a shot. I would edit all these shots into a sequence. I would edit all these shots into a sequence. Whereas in montage, when you're assembling shots or when you're putting 2 shots or 3 shots, you are creating something, as I told you later. Metric montage, you're creating a metric rhythm. Rhythmic montage, you're creating a rhythm of the action. You're creating something there. Tonal montage, you're creating an emotion. Overtonal, you're mixing everything. And intellectual montage, you're conveying a thought. You're creating a thought in the mind of the audience. And so this is a fundamental difference between editing as conventional editing, which is as assembly of putting together of shots that by and large stems from the Hollywood school of thought, and the montage, the theory of montage put forward by Eisenstein and stuff like that. Spatial montage would go to the spatial. What do you say in spatial montage? Spatial montage is creating a map of a scene that helps you understand where the things are happening. That means it's creating a seamless sequence, which falls more under the editing category. Am I clear the difference between the editing and montage?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we'll talk about it, and then this is a lifelong inquiry that you do, and I'm still inquiring it's not that Eisenstein didn't use editing, in terms of seamlessly trying to create a moment. It did use, It's not that the Hollywood guys don't use montage. They do use, they do use, but it's important to recognize the difference when it began. Okay, we'll go for the next one.
Okay, so the title of the documentary will be A Canine Chronicle. It's a documentary. The first topic I will cover will where dogs came from. We look back in time when dogs first became friends with people. Archaeologists help us understand how this friendship started and learn why it turned into such a special partnership. Second will be different kinds of dogs. Now we explore all the different types of dogs out there, big, small, and everything in between. Please scroll. We talk to people who know a lot about dogs, and they tell us how dogs can be working buddies, helpers, or just great members of the family. Third will be smart dogs and how they talk to us. We'll add interviews with various scientists and trainers, sharing cool stories about how dogs can understand and what we say and feel. It's like they have a special language to talk to us. Dogs as friends and helpers. We'll meet people who have dogs and help them feel but who have dogs that help them feel better, and we see how dogs can be super good friends. It's amazing how these pals can bring so much joy and comfort. Fifth will be heroes with furs. Dogs are real life heroes too. We'll add clips of dogs doing heroic things like saving people and even working in the military. It's like they have superpowers and we get to hear from the people who train them. Importance of dogs in Hindu mythology. Dogs are given a very special place and importance in Hindu mythology. There we'll tell about their mention in Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita, their relations to various gods like Bhairav, the avatar of Lord Shiva, Lord Dattatreya, and Lord Yama. Then dog, dogs are sometimes considered symbolic in Hinduism, representing loyalty, protection, and vigilance. Think things dogs face today. The movie talks about some challenges dogs face today, like having too many pets and making sure dogs are treated well. Experts will share their thoughts on how we can take care of dogs better and be responsible pet owners. The unbreakable friendship will be the last. We end the movie by showing how the bond between people and dogs is timeless. There are there are sweet stories, cool moments, and experts who tell us why this friendship is so special. A Canine Chronicle is all about celebrating how awesome dogs are and reminding us that we must take good care of them with history lessons, personal stories, and lots of great scenes. This documentary is a big thank you to our furry friends for being such fantastic companions.
Yeah. So it's what? How long is this? 500 words.
So less than that, maybe
You,
it's
yeah.
even below 400.
What the most noticeable thing of this is that you give a structure of the documentary. You give a structure of the documentary by all these sequencing and stuff like that. It's almost just seeing the sequencing of it. Now, uh, what the film is about? What is the film about?
About dogs.
Yeah. What is it? No, मतलब, what is it about dogs?
तो मैंने सोचा कि जैसे डॉग्स से रिलेटेड हर एस्पेक्ट को कवर किया जाए.
हाँ नहीं बहुत सारे हैं बट वो उसका इतनी सारी सीक्वेंस है what binds them together.
ये नहीं सोचा था सर, पर
हाँ ये सोचना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है बिफोर यू गेट इनटू द डिटेलिंग ऑफ द स्ट्रक्चर है ना ये सोचना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है व्हाट इज इट दैट वही बोल रहा हूँ फिर से वही बोल रहा हूँ मेरा टेक क्या है डॉग का होता दैट आई वांट टू से इन द फिल्म है ना तो इफ यू डोंट डू दैट देन डॉग्स कैन बी वेरी वास्ट ना कुछ भी डाल सकता हूँ मैं है ना एनीथिंग एंड एवरीथिंग देयर हैज टू बी अ सिलेक्शन ना and that selection is based on your attitude towards the subject. डॉग्स को लेके आपका क्या प्रतीक है ना वो आई मीन in fact it comes right at the end in the last paragraph when you say that dogs are great companions. है ना? Dogs are
ऐसे
great
लाइफ में
company.
मीनिंग ऐड करते हैं.
हाँ, लाइफ में मीनिंग ऐड करते हैं वो. I mean, it is taking care of us, and that we should take care of it. That's what you say, है ना? Something like that, है ना? हाँ,
हम्म.
तो ये बात है ना, ये बातें पहले बता देते आप, है ना? या पहले सोचते आप, है ना? ये तो मुझे लगता है कि आफ्टर थॉट है ना? लिटरली आफ्टर थॉट है, बिकॉज इट्स कमिंग. ये बात पहले आप सोचते हैं. जस्ट इमेजिन, वो सीक्वेंसिंग में कुछ फर्क पड़ता है आपका? नया सीक्वेंस आ जाता है. दैट द थीम ऑफ द फिल्म इज, फॉर एग्जांपल, ना, ऑफ कोर्स काफी सारे ड्राफ्ट्स होगा इसका एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट. यू कुड डू वन मोर ड्राफ्ट एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट. दैट द थीम ऑफ द फिल्म इज that dogs are taking our friendship with dog is eternal, not eternal, whatever word you use. It's long, timeless, and it's too good for us, and it's also time that we also stand good for it. अगर मान लो अगर ये theme है, then your sequencing would also follow this theme. समझे मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ, है ना? Then you will decide कि ये सीक्वेंस नहीं चाहिए, ये सीक्वेंस में नहीं है, ये थीम में रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं हो रहा है ना? This sequence is not necessary. You'll think of 100 sequence, है ना? Out of which you'll select only 5. And why are you selecting that 5? Because you have a theme. And that theme is not for the sake of theme, but that theme is because you genuinely feel that dogs are timeless. Our relationship with dogs are timeless, है ना? वो then it starts making sense. वो आप रामायण में गए, महाभारत में गए, whatever, है ना? And symbolism में गए, then really timeless हो जाता है ना? अगर ये बात पहले से होता कि then then the thing should have been little bit more focused. You're getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Directly went into the detailing. Now, before you go into the detailing, get the larger picture, है ना? आसान नहीं है to get the larger picture, especially in an examination situation, है ना? And when time is ticking, आसान नहीं है, but that's a habit that you would want to make, है ना? चुप गए तो चुप गए, कोई बात नहीं, है ना? अगले फिल्म में करेंगे. That kind of thing. Clear?
समझिए sir.
हाँ, ठीक है. Let's go for the next one. आपने डॉग का किया, मोन्टेज का किया, एंट्री डिजाइन का किया, ठीक है. अजय,
Sir,
yes, you haven't written anything on entry Bazin?
I didn't write because I don't know about him. I just
So you've heard,
I haven't watched why.
you've
Sir?
heard this conversation that is happening over the last 1 hour.
No,
From-
no, I haven't heard about him. After reading the question, then I check it on Google. Then I seen is what he his movies is write-ups about movies, but I haven't watched about his write-up movies.
नहीं, have you been listening to the conversations that we've been having for the last 50 minutes?
Yes, I just heard.
So based on
I
that,
listened to that.
yeah, based on that, what is entry Bazin? I'm just giving you a chance.
I
You
think
haven't-
it's so I cannot say in English because my language problem. So I know he's a film critic. He did more than sorry sir, I couldn't get the word area
No,
means mean in English.
Okay, no issues, no issues. So we'll go for what you have written, which is the
Yeah, okay.
second question, right?
Yeah. Write short note on various kind of film montage. One of the most fundamental aspects of the medium of the film is ability to edit and so can you just zoom out?
More. This much. Is it okay?
Okay, perfect. Ability to edit and rearrange images and shots to create a story. So okay, sir. The difficulty in editing and film in general is to be both effective and efficient at the same time. This enables the audiences to understand the story while also being completely engaged. One of the most useful tools that filmmakers have to execute this is the montage. A montage is a series of separate images, moving or still, that are edited together to create a continuous sequence. Montage enables filmmakers to communicate a large amount of information to an audience over a shorter period by compressing time through editing or intervening multiple storylines of a narrative. What is montage used for? It may depend on the genre of the film. Other times, it may depend on what information is being communicated to the audience. The montage is not used much today. When a long period of time is condensed into a short sequence, cuts are preferred to dissolve. A montage that conveys an idea or concept, as in the pile of money example, is rarer still, leaving an opportunity to experiment with old techniques in new ways. Montage can create some of the most memorable scenes in a film because of their unique ability to communicate vast amount of information in a shorter amount of time. In conclusion, understanding how a montage functions within a story that will help you incorporate into effectively engage your audience and communicate to them in the most engaging way possible.
What is this pile of money examples that you're giving?
Sorry.
You give an example of pile of money.
Sir, if I talk about Christopher Nolan movies, I couldn't mention the name. Sorry, I couldn't mention the scenes. So,
What is the scene? Because you are just 261 words, no? You still have had
yes, 261 words.
so you still had ample scope to write about. What is this example that you're talking about?
Sir, actually, montages, I know just montages, so I don't know what is the different montages, so I didn't write.
And I'm saying a montage that conveys an idea or concept, as in a pile of money example.
Yes.
What is this pile
Rare
of
still, leaving an opportunity.
What is this pile of money example? I'm not clear.
Actually, I just wrote in Malayalam, so Malayalam language, and then I Google Translate, so then I translated Malayalam to English, so then I write in laptop. So that's a pile of money. In Malayalam there is a sir, 1 minute, I will check in Malayalam language. Hello.
Yeah. What is it in Malayalam?
Oh, 1 minute, sir. I just write. Sorry, I just wrote. Then I will check. So it means connecting the scenes. That means that is the pile of money examples. Means pile means aduk in Malayalam. That means connecting between scenes. If it is based on continuity mistakes, covering the continuity mistakes. Yeah, so we are connecting the scene by scene. That is pile of money.
Okay. The scenes the shots being put together as if it's a pile of money, and yes, then we get to know it is 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs or whatever. Is that so? So I think it is clear that your definition of montage is a view that is held by most of us practitioners and film critics even now, and in fact more so. What is your definition of montage? Your definition of montage is that it gives a lot of information in a small period of time. A lot of information over a short period of time. It compresses time. That is what you say. That is what is
Okay, okay.
also that is what is also meant by montage. Then we say first sequence he comes back, and then second sequence he meets this girl, and the girl rejects him, and then the third sequence he woos the girl again, and then the girl feels happy, and fourth sequence love blossoms between the man and the girl, and then there is a montage of sequences where the love blossoms, and then next scene is marriage. You know? So a passage of time, that is what you mean. You know? A montage is
Oh,
a
yes.
passage of time,
Passage of time.
passage of large amount of time within a very short period of screen time. Huh? So this is what you mean, and this is what by and large the industry knows as what a montage is, which is also valid. But
Yes.
this view of montage is distinct. That's distinct from the view of montage that Eisenstein takes. I'm not saying different, but it's distinct. You know, that as I told you
Yes.
earlier, it creates something. What is this montage doing? It is just putting forward a narration. You know, there it is giving a
Yes.
quality to the narration. There Eisenstein is giving some quality, emotional quality, an intellectual quality, a rhythmatic quality to the. So you should know the fundamental difference between the two. So when people
Yes.
talk about montage, they might also mean this montage that you're talking about. They might also mean the montage that Eisenstein is talking about. For any film student, it would basically start off with Eisenstein because that is where the language of cinema developed. And then, of course,
Okay, okay.
so I think you should little bit dwell on read something on Eisenstein's theory of
Yeah.
montage.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, sir.
We'll go
Sir,
for the
1
next.
minute, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I'm not saying this theory is wrong. This meaning that you've taken is wrong. I'm not at all saying
Okay,
that.
okay.
You know, which is valid, and people still.
Yes, sir.
What are you shooting? I'm shooting a montage sequence, which means small shots, and I mean you put them together, and then a large number of information is given in a small period of time, which is also valid. But you should know, we should know that there is also
Okay,
another
sir.
distinct meaning to the word montage. Yeah.
Write the cinematic treatment for a documentary film on dog. First one, title. A dog named Ruby. Ruby is a black and white colored dog. Second one, logline of the film. The logline of the film is what Ruby is doing in night. Ruby has a caretaker, Chandu, and always a front office. He has no job and chilling with Ruby. He's not sleeping in night and as do like Ruby. After searching out of the house, Ruby came to Chandu's room and showed their relationship. Ruby obeys what Chandu is telling to him. Then morning, they both started sleeping. Third one, characters. Ruby, Chandu, Chandu's mother. Fourth one, summary of the story. The story shows the relationship between Ruby and Chandu. Ruby is a very charming and very kind dog. Chandu is a jobless guy and is always with Ruby. Chandu is a guitarist, and when he plays guitar, Ruby is also chilling. As we know, night is a special for all. They both enjoy in the night. I'm showing the way Ruby obeys Chandu and chilling with Chandu throughout the story. The title is A Dog Named Ruby, but I am showing the bond relationship. Fifth one, conveys theme. There is no huge message, but shows the relationship between a dog and human, but also priority is going to dog. So through this question, I am showing I have a friend. His name is Chandu. Also, he have a dog named Ruby. I think I just remembered there. Then I am showing the documentary about their relationship. So I just write the cinematic treatment like this.
Yeah, fair enough. Now you're saying that they have a relationship. You know, can you define
Yeah.
what the relationship is?
They are talking each other. They are talking what Chandu saying to bring what he want. Then Ruby is obeying Chandu, and when Chandu is missing, Ruby is very dull and very sad, going to a depression. So I'm showing their just their bond,
Their friendship, bond of friendship, the emotional bond,
bond of friendship. Yes,
the emotional attachment that the dog and the
attachment.
man has. So your film is about what?
Yes.
Your film is about an emotional bond between a man who is playing guitar and Chandu and that dog
Chandu.
and
A dog, yes.
Ruby the dog. And it's as good as any human relationship is. Is that what
Yes,
you're
yes.
saying? So
Yes.
so so just as you are being very clear, the title is very clear. Log line is very clear.
Okay.
You could refine a little bit of log line because you still have time. And then thirdly, now between 2 and 3, you could have one more characters after 2 and 3. After 3, you could have, before the summary of the story, you could have had one more section where
Okay.
where it is written what is the film about, and make it absolutely clear in the proposal itself.
Yes.
Absolutely clear in the proposal.
Yes.
Of course, when you come to know what the story and all that, we get to know what the film is about. That is fine. But right now, just as you
Okay. Yes, sir.
just as you have written Ruby and Chandu and Ruby's mother as characters, despite the fact that we know that they're going to come later on, in the synopsis. Just as that, you are making
Yes.
it clear that these are the characters and this is the theme.
Yeah.
This is the theme. What is it about? It is about the bond,
It's about the bond.
emotional bond between a dog and his master or whatever, and how they miss
Yes.
each other or whatever. Then things are absolutely clear. No, absolutely.
Yes.
You got a log
Okay.
line. You got a log line can be defined, of course. When you have a summary of the story, little bit of practice in English, the summary of story could have been a little better one, and then lastly you convert the theme, So what I'm saying is you can end up with this theme since you are just 207 words. You could have also written a lot of it about in the beginning. The theme in the beginning
yes.
itself, upfront. This is my film.
Okay.
So that you
Okay.
could have done. And I didn't see Chandu's mother in the story, summary of the story.
Okay. Yes, I just write. Okay. Yes, sir.
Since you have written here, Chandu's mother is also a whole story. Then I am wondering where is the mother coming?
Where is mother coming?
So
Okay.
since you have written there, so you had ample time because you have just 207 words. Actually, you wasted what?
Okay.
103 words. 103 words or what is it? 193 words. You could
Okay.
have added 193 words more to make it 500 words. So this
Yes,
is all
sir.
this is all metric montage.
Yes.
Okay, I think I suggest that you write it again and one you look at the language and you add Chandu's mother and then you a little bit complete your 500 words. And
Yes.
then I think that would be a real practice for you. Clear?
Yeah, sure, sir.
And read about Andre Bazin.
Clear, sir.
If you want to become a film director in
Sure.
film
Yeah,
school,
sure.
you can't escape him. Okay.
Okay.
We'll go for the
Okay.
next one.
Yes, sir.
Again.
So, write a short note on film theoretician Andre Bazin. Andre Bazin was a French film critic and a film theorist who played a pivotal role in shaping the discourse around cinema during the mid 20th century. He started writing about films from the year 1943 and was also a co founder of the magazine Cahiers du Cinéma, which became a platform for the French New Wave filmmakers, including Franco Truffaut and Jean-Luc Godard. His ideas greatly influenced the cinematic movements that emerged in the late 1950s and 1960s. His film theory states that realism is the most important factor in cinema. For Bazin, cinematic realism did not negate artistic expression, rather, he saw it as a different form of expression. He believed that realistic approach allowed for a deeper connection between the audience and the film, fostering a more profound emotional and intellectual engagement. His call for objective reality, deep focus, and lack of montage are linked to his belief that the interpretation of the film should be left to the spectator. He was a humanist and firmly believed in the concept of personalism and believed that the film should reflect the viewpoints of the director. He advocated the use of wide shots, short in depth, and preferred what is referred to as true continuity through mise-en-scene over experiments in editing and visual effects. Bazin's writing include essays compiled in What is Cinema, have had a lasting impact on film theory. His emphasis on realism, ontology of image, and role of the director as an author figure have continued to shape discussions about cinema and its artistic possibilities.
Yeah, this is a fair enough. Uh, there are some nice points that you have written. ये तो introduction हो गया, but this paragraph that you have written is like crucial, है ना? It's a most
I've
important.
taken this from GPT also. It's not
I
completely my
understand.
wording.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I leave that as I leave that as it is. But as far as we're discussing him and his work, that's okay.
Mm.
Huh? I'll take it as
Yes,
it
sir.
is. So, Basil, so when you say cinematic realism did not negate artistic expression, what do you mean?
So that means that realism means what is real in nature, but it is not negating the creative value of it. That real things is not negating the artistic expression of it.
So if you
That
had,
is what.
yeah, so if you had written a little bit, I think, yeah, short of words or something like that.
No, sir, it's less than
Ah,
300.
so if you could have written something about what he's talking about realism,
Hmm.
and yet he's talking about artistic expression.
Hmm.
Seemingly, it would look like a contradiction. Seemingly, है ना? अब what realism are you talking about and what artistic? Author theory की बात कर रहा है. Andrew Wilson is one of the things that people start criticizing Andrew Wilson. Author theory की बात कर रहा है that it's an expression of individual artistic expression,
Hmm.
and yet he's saying realism होना चाहिए. The objectivity of realism होना चाहिए, and yet he's saying the audience must choose. Long take में audience can choose. है ना?
Hmm.
ये थोड़ा सा आप dwell करते थोड़ा बहुत इधर उधर है ना? तो ये
Sir,
बात.
I could have been more descriptive
Yes,
and
yes.
explained the points.
Yes.
Mhm.
Uh,
So, like that, you're saying, no, I have written that in true continuity, as he does not believe in cutting the shots.
where is that? That comes
The
later on.
last line of the second para.
Yeah, but let me go. He believed that the realist approach allowed for a deeper connection between the audience and the film, fostering a
Mhm.
profound emotional intelligence. Forget this line. But what is this deeper connection? How is this deeper connection achieved? है ना? आप उसके बारे में
Mhm.
थोड़ा सा give a thought to that and how did
Mhm.
which is correct, है ना?
Mhm.
Which is correct, but then how is it achieved deeper connection? ये थोड़ा सा आप
Mhm.
बात करेंगे. This
Yeah.
call for objective reality, deep focus, है ना?
Mhm.
Deep focus and lack
So,
of
what do we mean by objective reality? When I was researching about it, I didn't get to know much about it. I couldn't
generally without film. If it was not film, what do you mean by objective reality? If it was
understand.
not films, what is reality? It's a very
Then,
reality. What is reality? Whole life people are dealing with that. You know?
there anything that's real in nature?
That's
Reality.
really what do you call real in nature?
So,
That which
that
is
exists.
what exists and what do we think we believe that exists? That there is some concrete evidence of it. You know, that we're seeing it,
Hmm.
that we're seeing it live, or that we, how do we know that I'm married? Because of my marriage certificate. You know, it's
Hmm.
a different matter. My marriage certificate may be fake. You know, that's a different matter. But that's how I believe. You believe. You know, how do you know that you are a college holder, degree holder? You get a degree. But people have become great figures without a degree, and yet say that they have. Uh, but anyway, then let's not get into that. So the realist approach would be what you see, an empirical evidence of it. Ah, when Bazin says, now let's come back. Clear? When you have an
Yes.
by and large empirical evidence is something that proves that exists. है ना? हवा नहीं है. We can't see
Hmm.
wind, but the
Hmm.
leaves
Yeah, sir.
the leaves flutter. That means there is an empirical evidence that the wind is there and that is real. And now what Bazin is saying that the time time in a shot in a sequence should run on its own course, so that we get a sense of the integrity of time, and therefore we get a sense of what is real. No, that the time is real. Whatever is happening in the frame, the time that is passing is real. So that is the realist approach that Bassin is taking. No, that in a 4 minute shot, which has its entire sequence, time flows on its own.
Yeah, sir.
Pizza आ गया?
नहीं नहीं सर वो कोई नॉक कर रहा था after I understood, I made changes in it.
Yeah. So you're at the door or something like that, or you're back?
No, my parents are there. Sorry, they'll
Okay, okay,
take.
no problem. So that's what he's talking about reality. You know, that's what does deep focus do? Deep focus allows the audience to choose the level of action, the plane of
Mm-hmm.
action that the shot is taking. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Which allows the interpretation of the film. Uh, it gives the interpretation of the film to the spectator. Why is the deep focus there? Because it gives the power of interpretation to the spectator. You know? So that's what Bayes' theory is about. I mean, you've got everything correct, but a little bit of explanation could have had it, and therefore I had doubted that this could be GPT. You know, because
Mm.
you haven't explained. You
Well,
know?
actually, it's a mix of lot of websites. Also, I was searching about him, and then I mixed them all.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's now when I'm reading it, it does not make much of sense. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But if you know his theory, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense because you haven't explained. He advocated the use of wide shots. Why did he use that? Shot in depth. Why
Mm-hmm.
did he use that? You know?
Mm.
So that is not there. You know?
Yes.
Refer to, you're talking about the continuity. Continuity through mise en scene. What do you mean by continuity through mise en scene?
So like the overall visuals and the action, there is no cuts in between.
Yeah. So in time and in space, there is no
Mm.
disconnect. It's a continuous time and it's a continuous space. That's what. That's
Yeah.
what. That's what. Instead of an edit, and that
Mm.
in the editing, he thought editing is an artificial construct.
Mm.
So you're creating time and you're creating space by editing. It's an artificial kind of a thing, and then this is more organic. That is what he basically thought.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So a little bit more study on Andrew Bazin to have.
yeah, that I'll
Yeah.
do.
So we'll go for the next one.
Yeah. Write a short note on various kinds of film montage. Montage refers to assembling different film shots that are connected together to make a sequence. It can be shot during different times of the day in different locations but are combined together to create a sequence by keeping the sense and the storyline intact. There are different types of montages. Rhythmic montage, combining different types of matching images or actions together along with considering the musical pacing. Rhythmic montage maintains continuity. It may combine different types of shots to form a particular film sequence. For example, a musician is playing a song, and all his long shot, medium shot, and close up shots can be combined together to form a rhythmic montage. Metric montage, to cut the scenes in a way that it gets synced to the music beats. Used to show longer periods of time in a shorter period time. You can tone up or down the tempo according to the emotional requirement of the scene. For example, if we are showing a person preparing for a game and we are supposed to show a workout sequence, then we can show different measurements of shots in different areas in length to keep it in pace of the music. Tonal montage, cuts based on the emotional tone of the film, are called tonal montage. Example, we can cut and edit those shots together where we are supposed to hold the sense of emotions in a particular scene, be it sadness, happiness, fear, excitement, etc. We can mix different shots, maybe close ups of different characters together to evoke emotion out of the scene. Intellectual, ideological montage, it means edits or cuts in a way for the audience to derive an idea or emotions from the clip. For example, we can make explain it by a boy looking out of the window and seeing rain and starting smiling. It means that he is happy, but a boy looking out of the window and frowning can imply that he is upset that it's raining. Maybe because he won't be able to play outside. Uh, Overtonal montage means summation of all from changing the tone of tempo of the music, match the visual image, or cut to recreate an intellectual or ideological montage. It aims at evoking emotions and intellectual derivations of the film from the audience.
Yeah. So yeah. So what's about this first paragraph in the light of the discussion we have had over the past 1 hour 15 minutes? What does this say?
Sir, montage would mean something different to me now. I mean, I've
Mm,
written it
Yeah. What
maybe
does What is the definition of montage that is there in this paragraph, and what is it meaning right now?
So this means that we are assembling the different shots together just to make a sequence. But I guess it's a more broader term now, and it's an assembly of a lot assemblage of a lot of other things like musical pacing and the sound and the actions and everything that you do according to we mix it.
Yeah, so that's kind of little bit clear, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
So that demands further study into the matter and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Whatever I say, it might not be sufficient, and then you could read some of
So
the
I was
sources.
just giving a general definition of montage. Otherwise, the answer was beginning from there.
Yeah. So which is not what is expected,
Yeah.
which is a different. Of course, we are not lame journalists
Hmm.
who are writing on Times of India, uh, 3 stars, giving 3 stars and stuff like that, 4 stars. Direction is good, montage is fine, acting is
Hmm.
good. We're not doing that. So at this stage, at this level, we going into a bit of depth. So rhythmic montage, you got it right.
Hmm.
Montage maintains and but you didn't you didn't talk about the action that is happening on the rhythmic montage is basically a montage based on the rhythm of the action. You know? Based on the rhythm of the material itself is metric montage. That one
Hmm.
shot is 3 seconds, the other shot is 3 seconds and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
the rhythm of the rhythmic montage that Eisenstein talked about is the rhythm of the action.
Hmm.
In which one shot could be 3 seconds, the other shot could be 7, the other shot could be 10. But it looks very rhythmatic in the sense because the action you're continuing, you're holding on to the action of the beats of the rhythm of the action and stuff. Whereas in metric montage, it's all you know calculations, mathematics. You know, 3 shots, 3 seconds here, 4 seconds there, 3 seconds here, four
Hmm.
seconds there, and things like that. And then that
Well,
very
I suppose I've tried to explain it with an example also.
like the guitar thing, I have told
Um,
the
no, in
metric.
metric montage, I've talked about the workout sequence wherein we take different sequences in different locations and then
Uh,
put it all together for a metric.
Measurements. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. So measurements of this is the one that
Hmm.
I haven't highlighted. Okay.
Hmm.
Measurements of shot in different areas in length to keep the pace of the music. You know?
Hmm.
Remember this can be with music or without music. You know? Any of these musics, rhythmic montage, metric montage can be the rhythm of the rhythmic montage and the rhythm of the metric montage can be with music or without music. Depending.
Hmm.
Tonal montage basically emotion. You talked about
Emotion. Yeah.
emotion, which is fair enough. Now, can you
Hmm.
give me an example of tonal montage?
Yeah,
You
sir.
cut and edit those shots where we are supposed to hold the essence of emotion in a particular scene of pure excitement. A concrete example of this?
Yeah, sir. Actually, I was searching. I found an example. A scene of Harry Potter was cut, so I tried to emote that in words. That we are suppose we are showing a particular sequence where Dumbledore is being killed, and then I tried to show that they were trying to show the close-up shots of Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter, and then that's what I was trying to create here also,
Mm.
like close-ups of different characters together to emote to evoke a particular emotion out of the
No,
scene.
emotion. Yeah, you could have probably, if you had the words, luxury of words, you could have added that. No, I
Yeah.
don't know how are you pleased with the words. I'm not sure, but
Hmm.
a little bit concreteness in the example. The intellectual montage is you got it absolutely right. No,
Hmm.
looking out of a window. I'm not sure how is this boy. How is this emotional intellectual montage?
Sir, I actually was reading about it, and so like Alfred Hitchcock talked about intellectual montage, and he said like there are two statements, different statements, where in one he says a man was watching a woman, the woman was playing with a child, and then man smiles, and then there was a similar paragraph like that, and then he was trying to show that you can decipher two different meanings from the same lines.
Yeah, but by and large, intellectual montage is only it derives an idea. For
Yeah.
emotions, we have the tonal montage and So, fair enough. You got the essence of what. These are just
Oh,
definitions, So this there might be certain overlaps between all these five uh, and all these five types of mentality. ये तो लकीर के फकीर. It's not a rule or a rule etched in stone. So
hmm.
nothing is a rule in cinema etched in stone.
Hmm.
So fair enough. Okay, we'll go for the next one.
Okay, sir. Write the cinematic treatment for a documentary film on dog. Dog title would be a Dog Epitome of Companionship. Title and logline. The title is Dog Epitome of Companionship, and the logline will be How the Lives of Humans Are Enhanced by Having Dogs as Companions. Genre and tone. The genre will be romance, as it is going to highlight the importance of dogs in the lives of humans, and the sense of love shall be maintained as dogs help humans in living a lovable life. They help them to overcome loneliness and also elevates their spirit. Synopsis. Dogs and humans are considered to be best friends, and dogs are also said to be the most loyal species. The film's plot will revolve around the bond they share with each other and how lovable the equation is. Character description. People from different walks of life, like housewives, single mothers, children of working parents, adults living alone, or even family members, and their equation with dogs, and they have a fulfilling effect on their lives because of them. Themes and motives. The theme shall be love and companionship that both the species share. A motive in film can be presented in a number of ways, like physical items, sound design, lines of dialogue, music, color, and symbols. We can use a particular color palette that may enhance the visuals of the film and enhance the chemistry between them even more. Visual style and cinematography. Different types of shots like long shots, wide angle shots, close up shots with right techniques of lighting shall be required. Setting and locations um, specifies the time and place in which the story unfolds, like mostly our locations may include the houses, kennels, parks, and footpaths where we take them for a stroll. Key scenes highlights specific scenes that are crucial to the plot or that showcase the film's emotional or thematic core. The scenes where we can capture the emotional tone of the film, like shots where we can see love between both of them while performing simple yet beautiful scenes, like a mother feeding food to her dog with her own hands, just like she would have fed her own child, or a union scene of a dog and man who lives lonely and they rush to hug each other on his returning from office, etc. Music and sound discusses the role of music and sound in the film, including the use of a musical score, sound effects, or any special auditory elements. The sound I'm thinking of will have a slow tempo of soothing music, mostly in corresponding sequences, which can be adjusted to montages as needed. Target audience identifies the intended audience for the film, helping to tailor the creative approach to resonate with a specific demographic.
Wow. So I think it started off very well, and you have the theme and the log line, and your log line is very clear about the theme. Yeah? We know right now, right at the beginning, we know what the film is going to be about. It's going to be about
Hmm.
how lives of humans are enhanced by the dogs having dogs as companions, and
Hmm.
this is it. Yeah, genre and tone will be romance and stuff like that. Uh, Something to do with relationships and loneliness and stuff like that. And still now we are into a generic kind of a thing. Now
Hmm.
comes the whole thing. Now we are coming into synopsis. Now we are getting into specifics. Yeah. So it started off very well, and there is this genre and tone and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Between these two, we get to know what could the film be about. And now I'm going to getting into the details. I'm not finding the details. Yeah.
Hmm.
In two lines you complete it. Synopsis. I need to
Hmm.
know. You say the dog and humans are considered to be best friends, and वो तो पहले भी
Hmm.
बोल रहे हैं आप, है ना?
Uh,
पहले and loyal species है and things like that. The film's plot, in fact, this is the only line which says about the film's plot. What is the film plot? Film plot is what is happening on the screen, right?
hmm.
Present, on the present. है ना? When
Hmm.
you did that with the two sequences that you spoke about later in the write-up. But what is the that is just two sequences, They're just giving a trailer, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
Basically it's a trailer. So what is this plot? It will revolve around the bond they share with each other. Yeah, okay, we got to know that right in the beginning itself. But who is this? Who is this dog? Who is this person? You know? Quite later on, we come to know that there's a mother there, there's an office goer there, and all these things. You know that we are not sure if they are the characters. You know? Who are the characters? You know, the other guy, no, I don't know who wrote the characters. You know? Ajit, somebody else wrote characters. You know?
Yeah, so he did.
So what about them? You know, so this thing is missing. What is happening on the screen? Or you can't predict in a documentary. You can't predict what is happening on the screen. You know, what could possibly happen on the screen? You know, what could possibly happen?
Like you said, that our take should be reflected in our answer. So where did I lose it in my answer?
Yeah,
Like in the
your take is absolutely clear. That's what I said. The beginning went off very well. In the first two paragraphs, your take is absolutely clear. That you are showing a kind of compassion to the compassion to the, you are demanding or not demanding. You are asking for, expecting a certain compassion towards the dog as it's loyal, as it's because our humans' lives are enhanced. It's absolutely clear. Your take. That is absolutely. What is missing here is the detailing. How do I know? How do I know that the lives of humans are enhanced by the dogs? By having dogs as the companion? I'm not getting anything here. Yeah. So this is there. Your take is there in your case, but the details are not there. In that other case, the details were there, but the take was not there. You know? So you have to figure out the plot in relationship to this what you're talking about.
Yeah, sir.
And this could have been some relationship that you saw in real life or you imagined or whatever. I don't know. You know, you could have seen a mother feeding a dog or an office girl. You know, you create a narration out of it. What is the narration? What is the synopsis? That is missing. You know? So then also your entire take would not matter at all because the details are missing. So you have to have a take and you have to have the narration and the detailing that reflects the take. Both of these things should be there. So what it basically means is what are you saying and how are you saying? Both of this should be there. You know?
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, then you go on themes, motives. Basically, they're repetitions. You know, themes of love and compassion and things like that. Visual styles. You know, any documentary would have a wide shot, a close up. You know, I mean, it hardly matters. Why does it hardly matters? Because we don't have a theme. Maybe we don't have the details of the. You have a theme, but you don't have the details of the theme. You know, in terms of plot and stuff like that. Probably, if you had the details of the theme, of the plot and stuff like that, this wide angle close up would have made sense. No, right now it's not making any sense. Setting locations fine. No, there too you're very vague. It could be canals, it could be parks, it could be footpaths. What is the setting? Is it the mother's house? Is it the office goer's house? What is it? Is it a canal? And is it a dog hotel? What is it called?
I've written it in a generic form.
Yeah. So the specifics are missing. You know? And when you get into specifics, it's just briefly as if it's a trailer. You know? This kind of people, people shoot this sequence and as a trailer and show it to pitching events, in pitching events. This is how the mode of the film is going. Probably an office goer comes and dog jumps on him and both of them meet together and they shoot a small sequence and show it to the funder and stuff like that. So this is what the so either you have this or you have that, but you have to have both. No? If you have only one of them, then I don't think it's going to make it.
Sir, may I leave for this because sir मैंने वो present तो अपना कर लिया था पर वो एग्जाम आने वाला था पढ़ने के लिए से
हाँ रट मारना है आपको ठीक है ठीक
हाँ वैसे अगर मतलब वो आप सेंड कर देंगे तो फिर मैं वैसे आप ये वाले आज के असाइनमेंट का आपने वो ग्रुप पे नहीं डाला मतलब वो वैसे जो रोज डालते हैं मुझे
मतलब समझाने में
सर पीडीएफ ये वाली पीडीएफ हमें शेयर होती है यूजुअली, वो इस बार
अच्छा
नहीं हुई है।
नहीं होंगे स्वाति मैम को रिमाइंड कर देता हूँ ना
ओके ठीक है सर
हाँ, तो आपका सीक्वेंसिंग पता चलता है आपको है ना
जमाल 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 कुड़ू जमाल
अच्छा है
अरे
गुड
मैं म्यूट ही करना भूल गई मुझे लगा था म्यूट कर रही है शायद दबा नहीं बटन
ठीक है. So
Sorry to
so
distract.
नहीं कोई नहीं. अरे गाना अच्छा था. Clear ना? Pragya?
Yeah, sir.
हाँ.
Yeah, sir.
So with the details here.
Thank you.
Did you write that earlier documentary sequence on the dancer? Is it right? No, you
No,
did.
sir.
Somebody else did it. No?
Dancers, I guess Ananya did.
Ananya did it. So that had details, that kind of.
Hmm.
So that kind of
Thank you.
detailing, and that is also because Ananya knows that person and all those things.
Hmm. Yeah, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Aslesha,
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
that's clear.
सर एक्चुअली कुछ इशू टेक्निकल इशू के कारण मैं आज कैमरा ऑन नहीं कर पाऊंगी.
अच्छा, कोई नहीं.
ओके. तो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, राइट शॉर्ट नोट ऑन फिल्म theoretician Andre Bazin. So he was a French film critic and theorist whose significant contributions to film theory have left a lasting impact on the way we perceive and analyze cinema. Born in Angers, France, Bazin co-founded the renowned film magazine Cahiers du Cinéma in 1951, where he became a leading voice in the development of auteur theory. His writings, marked by a profound appreciation for realism and a rejection of certain prevalent cinematic conventions, have become fundamental to the study of film. One of Bazin's central ideas is the concept of realism in cinema. He argued against what he termed theaterism, the artificial manipulation of reality through cinematic techniques such as editing and special effects. In his influential essay, The Ontology of the Photographic Image, Bazin contended that photography and cinema, as mechanical reproductions, have the potential to capture and preserve reality more authentically than other art forms. He championed the long take and deep focus as techniques that allowed the audience to experience the continuity of time and space, emphasizing the importance of preserving the inherent ambiguity and richness of the world. Bazin's approach to realism extended to his appreciation for the work of certain directors, most notably Italian neuralists, Italian neurorealists like Roberto and Vittoria. He celebrated their use of non-professional actors on location shooting and a documentary-like style to convey the struggles and nuances of everyday life. This admiration for neo-realism reflected Bazin's belief that cinema should serve as a window to reality, capturing life in all its complexity. The auteur theory, another cornerstone of Bazin's contribution, emerged as response to the prevailing view of cinema as a director's medium. In contrast to the prevalent idea that director is a mere craftsman serving the script, Bazin argued that the certain directors imprint their personal vision on their work and their films reflect a distinctive style and thematic coherence. Auteur theory, further developed by filmmakers and critics associated with Cahiers du Cinema, had a profound influence on the study of film and how we assess the artistic merit of directors. Bazin's appreciation for cinematic realism and his championing of auteur theory converged in his discussions of the myth of total cinema. He envisioned a type of cinema that would eliminate the constraints of traditional narrative forms and embrace the fluidity and spontaneity of reality. Bazin's idea about the potential of cinema to capture the essence of life without artificial manipulation laid the groundwork for later movements such as the French New Wave, which sought to challenge established norms and embrace a more liberated and spontaneous approach to filmmaking. Tragically, Andre Bazin's life was cut short when he passed away at age of 40. However, his ideas and writings continue to shape the discourse on cinema. His emphasis on realism, rejection of theatrical artifice, and celebration of directorial authorship have become integral to film studies, inspiring generations of filmmakers and critics to engage with cinema as
medium capable of profound artistic expression and a unique reflection of the world around us.
So, so, one second. हाँ, would you say
Yes, sir.
he championed the long take and deep focus, है ना? What does deep what does the long take and deep focus technique mean to you?
सर अभी प्रीवियसली आप किसी और से भी आपने लॉन्ग टेक का ही पूछा था, तो उसमें वो था कि लॉन्ग टेक का उन्होंने क्यों वो किया था कि जो ऑडियंस है वो अपना पर्सपेक्टिव चुन सके, और उसके बाद जो वो डीप फोकस है कि एक्चुअली ऑडियंस का तो है कि ऑडियंस अपना फोकस चुन सके, और उसके बाद डीप फोकस जो डायरेक्टर का विजन बता रहा है।
वो कैसे डायरेक्टर का विजन? What is long take? मतलब how do you define long take?
Sir, basically, the take which covers this whole area in particular length of time, which describes the scene and the characters in it.
Yeah. So I'll add in a continuous time, sense of time, है ना? Without a cut, artificial cut. ठीक है. And what does deep focus mean?
Sir, deep focus is basically a focus with more depth, कि जैसे हम एक जो नाम याद नहीं आ रहा, एक शॉट लेते हैं और उसके बाद एक उसका एक और जूम करके लेते हैं बेसिकली। तो यहाँ पर एक डीप फोकस जहाँ पर आप चाहते हैं एज फिल्म मेकर की ऑडियंस उधर फोकस करे।
Deep focus technique ये ऐसा है, and deep focus technique is directly related to the wide angle lens that was being used by the filmmakers that Andrew Bazin talked about, be it
Yes,
William Wyler or Orson Welles and stuff. The
yes, sir.
point of area in the point of area in front of the camera, which is fairly sharp focus. मतलब है ना? तो अगर वाइड एंगल लेंस में ये एरिया ज्यादा होता है, शार्पनेस ज्यादा होता है, बिटवीन फॉर एग्जांपल 10 feet से 20 feet तक एवरीथिंग इज इन फोकस. So when you are placing your action, you could place your action anywhere between 10 to 24 feet, है ना? Whereas in a different lens, in a telephoto lens, that will reduce to, for example, between 15 to 18 foot. Everything will be in focus, है ना? Rest, beyond that and before that, everything will blur. So your action of the action, your plan, your action that is planned will have to be within that area, है ना? So you are restricted in that. So when Bazin says deep focus, he means that the area which is in focus, acceptably sharp focus, is on a larger side, so that there could be multiple actions happening in multiple layers, है ना? 10 फुट में एक एक्शन हो रहा है, and वो 17 फुट में दूसरा एक्शन हो रहा है, and therefore both of them are in focus, acceptably sharp focus, है ना? एकदम sharp तो नहीं होगा, but acceptably sharp होगा, and then you can choose. तो मैं पीछे देखूं कि आगे देखूं, है ना? So that allows you to choose, and therefore it is called the deep focus, है ना? So it gives apparently, I'll say apparently, later on we'll figure out, apparently the audience can choose between background and foreground with the deep focus, because both of them will be acceptably sharp in focus, है ना? So, so that thing is contendable, है ना? मतलब वो the audience is making a choice is very contendable, questionable, but we do later, you know. Foreground में 10 foot में कुछ action है ना? And पीछे 17 foot में, obviously the image size of the person who is in the foreground, which is on 10 foot, would be larger, so our attention would be drawn towards that person, है ना? So where and then the person who is in the background, who is like so small, our attention will not go there, है ना? So where is this choice? That एंड्री बेजन इज टॉकिंग अबाउट. ये सब क्रिटिसिज्म है एंड्री बेजन के ऊपर, बट
अच्छा.
that is what the deep focus would actually mean, है ना. So he championed the long take and the deep focus techniques that supposedly allowed the audience to experience the continuity of time and space. Deep focus and long take in continuity of time and space, you know,
Yes, sir.
and it's supposed to preserve the inherent ambiguity and the richness of the world.
Of the
So,
world.
yeah, so yeah, this line becomes important in your entire.
Okay, sir.
You know? So otherwise, you got it by and large, you know. Statism in fact, he argued against what he termed as statism, artificial manipulation of reality. By artificial manipulation of reality, he basically means that reality of time and space constructed by the editing. You know?
Yes, sir.
By the editing. So you got that right and stuff like that. Otherwise, it's a fair enough. You know?
Yes, sir.
Have you read any of Basil's works?
No, sir. No, sir.
आप
क्वेश्चन
एक
के बाद थोड़ा रिसर्च किया था इनके ऊपर.
हाँ, तो आप थोड़ा सा पढ़ लीजिएगा ताकि वो
Yes, sir.
बाद में काम आ जाए ना. आपका थॉट
Yes,
प्रोसेस,
sir.
मेरा थॉट प्रोसेस क्लियर हो गया है ना. आफ्टर रीडिंग
Yes, sir.
रीरीडिंग हिम आफ्टर सम इयर्स, so my thought process, my practice has become more clear now. ठीक है.
Yes.
So we'll go for the
Yes, sir.
next one.
Yes, sir. Film montage, a fundamental aspect of cinematic language, involves the arrangement and combination of shots to create meaning, evoke emotions, and convey information. Different types of montage techniques have evolved over the years, each serving specific narrative, thematic, or stylistic purposes. Here's a brief exploration of various kinds of film montage. First one is metric montage, based on the precise measurement of film units, typically frames or seconds. Editing rhythm follows a predetermined mathematical structure, creating a sense of tempo or pacing. Sergei Eisenstein, a pioneering Soviet filmmaker and theorist, often used metric montage to generate a specific emotional impact. Second is rhythmic montage, builds on the visual and auditory rhythms within a sequence, emphasizes the dynamic flow created by editing patterns, syncing cuts with the beat of music or other elements, also helps to enhance the overall energy and engagement of a scene. Tonal montage focuses on the emotional or tonal qualities of the shots. The goal is to convey a particular mood or atmosphere by combining images that share similar emotional resonance. It's crucial for establishing the emotional tone of a film or a specific sequence. Second, other one is overtonal montage. Building on tonal montage, it involves the juxtaposition of shots to create complex emotional or intellectual responses. It goes beyond the individual shots' emotional qualities, aiming to evoke a more layered and nuanced reaction from the audience. Intellectual montage, coined by Sergei Eisenstein, it involves the juxtaposition of images to stimulate intellectual connections and provoke thought. It relies on the viewer's ability to infer meaning from the collision of seemingly unrelated shots, encouraging a deeper engagement with the narrative. Spatial montage, it's concerned with the spatial relationships between shots and scenes, emphasizes the continuity and coherence of physical space, ensuring that audience can follow the geography of the film's world. It's essential for clarity in action sequences or complex spatial narratives. Parallel montage, often used to build tension or convey simultaneous events, involves intercutting between two or more separate actions or storylines. It creates a sense of interconnectedness between events happening in different locations, contributing to the overall narrative tension. Montage sequence. It's a series of related shots edited together to condense time, convey information, or depict a progression of events, frequently used for training or preparation sequences. It allows filmmakers to compress time and tell a story efficiently. Cross cutting involves alternating between two or more storylines or actions, can be used to create suspense, emphasize thematic
connections or build tension by juxtaposing different elements of the narrative. Match cut. Here, the visual elements in two consecutive shots are similar to share a visual similarity, creating a seamless transition, often used to draw connections between scenes or highlighting thematic parallels. All these techniques showcase the versatility and expressive power of film editing. Filmmakers employ these methods strategically to shape the viewer's experience, convey narrative information, and evoke emotional or intellectual responses. This art continues to evolve, with contemporary filmmakers constantly experimenting with new forms and styles to push the boundaries of cinematic storytelling.
So I see that
Yes, sir.
I kind of I there is a little bit of confusion that exists generally of what a montage
Yes, sir.
is and what editing is. No? Of
Yes,
course,
sir.
yeah. So out of the 10, out of the 10 types of cuts that you have mentioned here, what
Yes, sir.
which of them would fall into the montage and which of them would fall into the realm of editing? You know? Can you tell me
Hmm.
that?
नो सर एक्चुअली ये मेरे को भी थोड़ा कंफ्यूज किया बिकॉज ऑनेस्टली ये टर्म भी मैंने मतलब पहले सुना था बट कभी इसके ऊपर कभी ध्यान गया नहीं इस बार
Hmm.
जब क्वेश्चन आया तो आई डिड दिस रिसर्च एंड ऑल तो मेरे पास कुछ टाइप्स निकल के आए तो उस हिसाब से जहां जैसा मैटर मुझे लगा तो वो मैंने उसको कंबाइन करके रख दिया
No problem. So basically, the confusion persists not only between you and me or with you and me and the rest of the entire world is confused with these montage, with these words, montage and editing.
Yes, sir.
The Americans equate montage with editing, which is what if you open any Google site, you will find montage is equal to editing. है ना? By and large,
Yes, sir.
montage by so and so. है ना? That they mean
Hmm.
assembly, editing by so and so. है ना? So
Yes, sir.
so as we have spoken in the last 1.5 hours or 1 hour 45 minutes, there is a slight but distinct distinction between these two words. And your uh, first five things that you mentioned, till the
Hmm.
intellectual montage, it falls under the actual montage of what Eisenstein, as you rightly pointed out, Eisenstein,
Yes, sir.
Eisenstein thought of, not their,
Hmm.
as I told you, not their absolute rules, but by and large a distinction. The spatial
Yes, sir.
montage, the parallel montage, the montage sequence, the cross cutting, the match cuttings.
Match कर हाँ yes sir
Yeah, the match cuttings are all assembly line editing and stuff like that. Where you, so this
yes
you have
sir
to, I think you should, I suggest that we dwell on this, dwell on this. ये क्या ये है? Somebody speaking. Somebody's on the phone.
yes sir सर 2 मिनट
एक सेकंड पापा एक सेकंड होल्ड करना
okay sir
Yeah. So you're getting that. So I suggest that you study a little bit in more in depth,
yes sir
especially
yes sir I need to yes sir
Eisenstein. So we'll go for the next one,
yes sir
the dog.
right the cinematic treatment for a documentary film on dog so the title is The Unspoken Silence is Heard Here. The Unspoken is an intimate and emotionally resonant documentary that delves into the extraordinarily challenging world of stray dogs. To provide a space for them to live a healthy life full of freedom is essential for the animals as well as the humans, influencing the human canine relationship positively. So, the synopsis the documentary aims to focus on VOSD, stands for Voice of Stray Dogs, which is one of the world's largest no kill dog sanctuary and hospital in India, with 8,000 plus life critical rescues and hundreds of resident dogs located in Bangalore in India. But they also look out for dogs all across the country. They also run various campaigns and offer grants to individuals and NGOs so that they can help as many dogs as possible. The film opens with captivating footage of various dog breeds showcasing their incredible diversity in the dog sanctuary. also highlighting their innocent, playful bond with each other. The narrative unfolds through a series of heartfelt interviews with the dog rescuers, the ones who take care of them, and the VOSD owner, where the audience will come to know what they do and how they do. With the interviews of rescuers, people will come to know about the critical conditions of stray dogs which they face on daily basis. From the owner, the audience will get to know about their good deeds through their data and facts that they have collected all these years. As the documentary progresses, it takes a closer look at some specific stories of particular dogs. The individual stories of those will really have a deep impact on the audience to connect with them at a deeper emotional level, and will motivate them to help stray animals and not to mistreat them. Also, it will make them understand that animals have their lives too, which must be respected by the humans should not interfere into the very personal lives of stray animals. The documentary will also address issues like abandonment, neglect, and the importance of responsible ownership so that the pet dogs lead healthy life too, as they suffer too in lack of proper knowledge and treatment of their owner. The physical and mental health of dogs will also be discussed with the medical team of VOSD, such as the main causes of degrading health of dogs, some common problems that dogs face, the precautions to be taken care of, and the guiding points in case of emergency, etc. All these things will be discussed with the veterinarians, which will acknowledge the audience. After all these interviews, the film will showcase the geography of the VOSD, the whole area and sanctuary will be captured from different angles, depicting the vividness and the inner beauty of the place. As the film is near its conclusion, the tone becomes celebratory, highlighting the joy and laughter that dogs bring into our lives, impacting the bond of humans and dogs at an emotional level. The closing scenes feature uplifting stories of donation and adoption, emphasizing the positive impact individuals can make in a dog's life.
So one thing is that you've gone into one specific organization.
Yes, sir.
हाँ तो वही
Uh,
वही बात हो गई
this there is some sort of a detailing that is there,
Mhm.
but I would like to see some more detailing in the sense that this now right now seems to be, I don't
Yes,
know if
sir.
that is the intention, because which is not, because your logline says to provide space, healthy,
Yes, sir.
है, which is the intention is
Mhm.
very clear. This looks like probably like a film for this VOSD, you know. It's a
Mhm.
NGO film for, it's a what? It's an organization.
Yeah, yes, sir. It is. It is.
It's a for-profit organization or non-profit organization.
Sir, it is a profitable one.
So it looks like one uh, subtle branding
Like an
for
advertisement or
subtly,
acha.
subtly. It looks like that. Which it was promised not to be that, because your
Mhm.
log line says something very profound.
Yes, sir.
Of course, they provide a space and stuff like that for the dogs and stuff like that. And then you
Yes,
also
sir.
then you also look at
पर वैसे भी
humans
ये वो वाला
influencing the
हम लोगों
human
ने
can
रूम
and
वो वाला
be
लिया है ना
positively.
नॉर्मल
You
वाला
know?
ये क्या
Yes, sir.
So I'll tell you why this confusion is arriving. The confusion is arriving primarily because it might not be there in your head. I mean, in your thought process. The confusion is primarily because of the lack of detailing. You know,
हाँ.
when you're saying we are going to say a few dogs, you know,
Mhm.
so what dogs? You know, I mean, कौन सी dog है? If you for example a specific dog comes to this place and stays there for 15-20 days or something, I don't know, है and then goes away from that place. If that is your whole thing,
Yes, sir.
then you're specific to that dog. A specific dog called Tommy, I don't know if you know that dog called Tommy or not, but anyway, that kind of specificity that one is talking. Or somebody wants to abandon a dog,
Mhm.
and then
Yes, sir.
somehow that dog is brought here, and then it's
Yes,
treated
sir.
and it's taken care of, it gets well, and then things like that. There is a narration that is happening here. There is a progression that is
Yes, sir.
happening here. For that, some more research. I'm assuming that since you mentioned the USD and stuff like that, you would be knowing some details about this and stuff like that. But yeah,
Yes, sir.
what is missing is some detailing. Everything is generic in nature,
Okay, sir.
which is okay for the first time, but once as you progress, you'll be needing a little bit of more detail.
Okay, सर तो फॉर्मेट यही रहेगा मतलब.
Yeah, except that when you narration and synopsis में, you're talking about what is happening on the screen, what could happen on
हाँ.
the screen, what could happen on the
Yes,
screen.
sir.
Now
Yes, sir.
you're talking about interviews of this guy, interviews of those guys, and that this,
हाँ.
and उसका
हाँ.
भी नाम नहीं है ना, I mean, generic ना.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Hmm.
I would interview all the prime ministers of all the countries. It is like that, है ना.
हाँ. Yes, sir.
I mean, I'm not saying I'll interview the Prime Minister of the United States of America when he visits India. I'm not saying that. You know, I'm not writing that. So that kind of thing. That has its implication. You're interviewing the Prime
Yes,
Minister
sir.
of the United States in India. It has its own implications. So any
Yes, sir.
specification, in any specification, you made a choice, and that choice will be
Yes,
visible.
sir.
So that is not there, right?
ठीक है, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that ends it. I'll stop sharing the screen. We have a couple of more minutes left. Any questions that you have or something like that?
So, what more can we study for the exam? Like, what should be the topics that we should consider studying?
Anything to get hold of cinema. I don't know who's setting the questions and stuff like that. But anything in relation to cinema, since your direction, you'd be anything relating to arts, anything relating to cinema.
अच्छा सर, मुझे भी बात पूछनी थी.
हाँ,
सर ये बताइए, मैंने एक्चुअली 2 फील्ड्स के लिए सोचा, मतलब डायरेक्शन के साथ सिनेमेटोग्राफी के लिए भी. तो
हाँ,
सेम चीजें ही पढ़नी पड़ेगी या फिर कोई और क्रैश कोर्स लेना पड़ेगा सिनेमेटोग्राफी के जैसे? वैसे चीजें तो सेम ही पढ़ रहे हैं.
हाँ, ये तो सिर्फ डायरेक्शन के लिए ना.
हाँ, तो
तो ये
फिर भी मैं
सब एंट्री
सिनेमेटोग्राफी के लिए भी एग्जाम दे सकती हूँ ना
हाँ,
फिर भी?
एंट्री बेजन वगैरह सिनेमाटोग्राफी के लिए स्टूडेंट के लिए वो बहुत ये हो जाता है ना, हेवी हो जाता है. अरे कौन एंट्री बेजन, हम तो एक्सपोजर लाइट वाइट देखते हैं, ऐसा करके बोलते हैं. तो देर आर अ होल सेट ऑफ डिफरेंट क्वेश्चंस दैट वुड बी इन्वॉल्व्ड फॉर सिनेमाटोग्राफी स्टूडेंट्स. आई डोंट नो क्राफ्ट विद आई एम श्योर यू
हाँ,
कैन.
वैसे मैंने सैंपल पेपर जो देखे उसमें मैं क्या करती हूँ, हर डिपार्टमेंट के सैंपल पेपर देखे. मैंने साउंड डिजाइन के भी देखे, मैंने प्रोडक्शन डिजाइन के भी देखे, मतलब सिनेमाटोग्राफी और डायरेक्शन के देखे ना थोड़ा सा. और हाँ, अभी तक तो सिर्फ सिनेमाटोग्राफी देखे हैं, बाकी मैं साउंड डिजाइन, प्रोडक्शन डिजाइन सबका देखूंगी.
अलग क्वेश्चंस होगा, उनकी टेक्निकल ज्यादा होगी. साइंस +2 लेवल में साइंस भी होना चाहिए ना, सब दैट दोस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स.
So, can we give exams for both courses, two courses like editing and direction, both
Yes, people are given. People are given.
in the
People are
same year?
given for yeah. People are given for television courses. People are given for acting courses. People are given for
Oh.
direction. People are given
अब
for
सर
editing.
क्या है ना सर, अगर डायरेक्शन के लिए भी मैं अप्लाई कर रही हूँ तो फिर मतलब ये है कि मुझे बाकी फील्ड्स की भी नॉलेज होनी चाहिए.
बस डायरेक्शन सब नॉलेज होना चाहिए डायरेक्टर को, बिकॉज वो वही सबसे मतलब ही और शी इज क्रिएटिंग द होल थिंग, है ना. आपको आर्ट्स का भी नॉलेज होना चाहिए, आपको पेंटिंग का भी नॉलेज होना चाहिए, आपको कलरिंग का नॉलेज होना चाहिए, आपको म्यूजिक का नॉलेज होना चाहिए. और
जी हाँ, तभी मैं
I'm not asking everyone to be musicians or painters, but
या
fundamental.
तभी मैं सोच रही थी कि मतलब मुझे हर डिपार्टमेंट का सैंपल पेपर देखना चाहिए, सब्जेक्टिव वाला, क्योंकि ऑब्जेक्टिव वाला तो फिर भी सेम होता है. सब्जेक्टिव वाला मैं हर डिपार्टमेंट का देखना चाहती हूँ ताकि मतलब सब पे अच्छा खासा समझ सकूं चीजों को. थोड़ा और पढ़ूंगी फिर.
हाँ, पर ये ऐसा क्वेश्चन शायद नहीं होगा डायरेक्शन में कि व्हाट इज, मैंने तो आपसे पूछा भी व्हाट इज डेप्थ ऑफ फोकस क्या होता है ना. दिस इज अ टिपिकल कैमरा क्वेश्चन, है ना. तो 55
सिनेमाटोग्राफी के लिए भी थोड़ा पढ़ ही लूंगी, मतलब थोड़ा बहुत जो भी आसपास का. अब मुझे
पढ़
मास कॉम में मैंने कॉलेज में सीखा है कुछ कुछ सिनेमाटोग्राफी के बेसिक.
हाँ जी. तो डायरेक्शन में क्या होता है, यू हैव टू नो व्हाट डीप फोकस इज, बट यू हैव टू नो हाउ टू यूज क्रिएटिवली डीप फोकस, है ना. दैट इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. वन, यू हैव टू नो व्हाट इज डीप फोकस, है ना,
Okay.
एटलीस्ट थियोरेटिकली. एंड देन वो कैसे डीप फोकस को कैसे क्रिएटिव यूज कर सकते रिजॉल्व में, वो सब इमेजिनेशन होना चाहिए. आई थिंक दैट एवरीवन वुड बी हैविंग दैट काइंड ऑफ imagination.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So it is always good to know the technicalities of it, little bit of it, है ना. पर मोस्ट ऑफ इट हाउ आप टेक्निकलिटीज को कैसे यूज करेंगे, कैसे देखेंगे फिल्म्स में क्रिएटिवली इस्तेमाल करेंगे, दैट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट। आपका फोकस सब ये होना चाहिए।
ओके, समझ गए सर।
by and large direction students are what people are will be looking at, इनकी टेक क्या है, what is the take of this person, है ना, what is his or her world view, है ना, करंट अफेयर्स में क्या वर्ल्ड व्यू है ना, इसराइल का युद्ध, पैलेस्टीन इसराइल का युद्ध में कैसे कितना जानते हैं, क्या टेक है उनका, ना दैट काइंड ऑफ, वो सब ज्यादा बिकॉज वो रिफ्लेक्ट होने वाला है ना, आपको फिल्म्स में रिफ्लेक्ट होने वाला है। therefore I've been harping, even today I've been harping, आपका थीम क्या है ना, and then of course आपका थीम ए है, this is your theme, and then how do you want to say it in a that kind of, so anything relating to these two aspects you keep on learning, बाकी आप क्वेश्चन पेपर क्वेश्चन सवाल है, बात है।
अंडरस्टूड सर। थैंक
Anything else? So we'll take I'll take your leave, is that okay?
Yeah, sir.
Bye bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.